Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I had a guest on in the past, and I liked them so much I had to bring them right on back. So today's special return guest is Charlie Lougheed, who's CEO over at Axuall. Charlie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Adam. It's good to be back here.
So excited to have you back on. I mean, you're obviously, it's a busy time for you. I mean, we're smack dab when this is being recorded in the middle of the pandemic. So this is April 13th, 2020, and you're right in the middle of it, working on what you do in healthcare. We're going to get into that, and I want some updates from you. But before we do that, I don't want to assume that all of our new listeners caught your first episode. So let's just start with an overview of what you're doing over at Axuall. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, Adam. Axuall is a global identity network that really focuses on enabling people to collect and manage their verified credentials that are verified by authorized third parties. So it's not just what they say, it's what authorized entities say. That might be a medical school or previous employer or whoever it might be. And what it does, it gives them the ability to share that digitized credential with an employer or partner that they work with. That entity knows it's authentic, can reference it any time to know it's still authentic or hasn't been revoked or a license hasn't changed or anything like that, and essentially speeds the process of deploying people into the workforce to an extent much faster than we have today. And this has probably never been more important than today in healthcare, where shortages as it relates to hospital beds or ventilators, or for that matter, people, is something that every healthcare system has on their mind, and they want to make sure that they stay ahead of. And that's really what we focused on and part of the problem that we solve in the space.
So I think that's also a great transition. I mean, let's get into today's topic. So the current state of credentialing and what you're seeing in the industry as it relates to the pandemic we're going through and getting, doctors in place. So where do you want to begin with that one?
Yeah, well, this has been a problem that's been around for a long time. On average in the U.S., it takes about 100 days to get through the process of what they call credentialing. And what that is it starts with you applying for a position or reapplying for a position, even one that you already at, where you not only include all the information about your past and any type of credential or license you may have, but your employer needs to verify every single piece of that. And in regulated industries like healthcare or aviation or other spaces, we see this all the time. It's something that if you look at, that whole entire process is very manual. It gets repeated over and over. There's a lot of people involved. And it's something that's really ripe for an opportunity to digitize. And that's really what we have focused on. It's a multi-billion-dollar problem in healthcare today because you can't deploy resources quick enough to be able to recoup a lot of the costs. But it's also become an issue in situations like COVID that remind us that having a deployable, elastic workforce is incredibly important. And if we can do it in a way that is much safer, that is more accountable and auditable, everybody wins. And so that's really what we focused on. And we started the company back in December of 2018. We did our first prototype in April of 2019. Last year, we raised about $3 million in a Series seed equity round. We are working with 3 healthcare organizations in piloting this technology and getting it right. And we will be releasing this for general availability this summer. And it's been an amazing process in many ways. It's accelerated just because of some of the situations at hand. And we've learned a lot during this process and really look forward to the kind of value that this company can bring to, to not only health systems and physicians, but just regular people like you and I that need health care.
What are the, I know you said that the average is 100 days. What is the goal for Axuall to get that credentialing process down to? So when somebody needs to be placed and they don't have to re-go through the process over and over again.
So essentially zero. Now, it takes a little time to get to zero because you need to set up your credentials the first time, and that's the enrollment process, and you set it up and you curate your credentials. We do it on your behalf. We go and collect those from all the different sources that are out there. But once you have that digitized credential wallet, if you will, it's ready to go. And the nice thing about it isn't a process that happens on an event basis or happens once every 2 years for recertification. This thing is always on. It's always checking to see if anything has changed, been added, revoked, suspended, whatever it might be, which gives the consumers of those credentials, those individuals or organizations that you as a credential holder grant access to, it gives them the security to know that they have all the information that's necessary to make sure that this person is being placed in a safe environment and an environment is safe because of their credentials. And so these are the things that we really focused on, fundamentally changing the paradigm of doing it on an event based and just having something that's always on. It's your digital identity. It's your digital credentials. If you think about it, there's probably nothing more important in our professional lives than our resume. This is just a version of your resume that's always verified by third parties. So we think it can be a game changer.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And the idea of being able to, just the amount of duplication of resources, just thinking about that, of going through that process every single time, not just for the doctors, number one, obviously they don't, every time they have to go through that, I can't imagine that's an easy thing. I think it's got to be kind of a pain on their end. And then number two, for each one of these healthcare systems that have to go through the process, like the amount of people and just the duplication of resources over and over. Am I off on this one?
No, not at all. And even the issuers, right? So in many cases, they need to verify that someone went to medical school. Now, if you work for 3 or 4 different hospitals, they've got to do that 3 or 4 different times. So we present the concept of let's once and done. Let's do it once. Let's digitize it. Let's use technology that ensures that we know that it was signed by the authorized entity, and B, it has not been tampered with since. And that begins to sort of change the game for how these things are stored, managed, and shared.
Man, that's amazing. I love it. I love when, there's some efficiencies created and there's just going to be more opportunity there. Everybody wins. Healthcare systems win, the issuers, all around the board, everybody wins on this one. So that's awesome, Charlie. And excited to see this all roll out and to be live for everyone else. So I know you mentioned you're in pilot and it should be live hopefully in the summer. That being said, Charlie, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information or to learn more about Axuall, what's the best way for them to reach out and to do that?
Our website's the best place to start, and from there you can contact us, and we'll get back to you. Our website is Axuall.com, AXUALL.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Again, we really serve 3 parties or different types of entities: physicians, the health systems they work with, and those entities that have to issue these types of credentials. So all are welcome, and you can go to our website to learn more.
Awesome. Well, hey, Charlie, been great catching back up with you on this reunion 2020 episode. Can't wait to have you back on in 2021, see what's going on and and how everything worked out and how you were able to help all these how you were able to help all these entities. It's going to be good stuff. I'm excited. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of things you're working on and what you have going on in your neck of the woods. And Charlie, thanks again for coming back on the show.